everyone, you are watching ITV Gold and I'm your host Aditi Lamba. Welcome to another edition of Inside Scoop, where we bring you your favorite South Asian personalities from India and here really to talk to you about what it really truly means to have your identity out there. On the show today, it's a pleasure and honor. With us today we have Jaz Dhami. He's one of the most known urban artists, and today he's really going to talk to us about his journey and what it truly takes to make it here and to really, talk about that voice. So Jaz, thank you so much for being with us on ITV.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Jaz, you have a very interesting story, someone who's really made it out there. When we talk about the industry of urban music or urban artists, at times people still are trying to understand what is happening. But what is happening is there is a whole industry of these South Asian artists outside of India that are trying to create content which kind of reflects identity of both cultures. So you are kind of one of the prominent voices of that. So
Thank you, man. I appreciate
having
that.
you on that show for that, having all of that success, and I'll start right off with high heels. Having that success in 2012 and then going into that becoming into a huge movie success. How's that journey been for you, and do you think you've identified that space for yourselves and others like you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the journey's been amazing. I mean, the real journey began like 25 years ago when I started learning music. Indian classical music is my background, that's where I've come from. So, but I would say, when I started releasing music, that was 2008 was the first release. It's just, I was making a lot of music which was resonating in the UK rather than resonating in the States and the rest of the world. But yeah, you're right, 2012 was that prominent moment where everything took off, especially after High Heels. I had so much love for that song and just I was touring off the back of that song. But I would say that for me was the moment when I noticed that, I've got that international smash, #1, and #2, the urban music scene internationally is growing. It's also being resonated everywhere else in the world. But I mean, I think now there's so many artists that are coming through as well and flying that flag, and I'm kind of grateful that I was one of the guys from the beginning.
I think you're being very humble. I think you're one of the pioneers here. When you're looking at this journey, of course you are.
I don't know about pioneers, if I'm being honest. I mean, there was other artists like before me that were doing it as well. It's just, I think I was flying the flag for the UK in terms of UK artists. And that's probably why my name kind of comes up. But I'm definitely proud of what everyone else is doing as well and contributing towards the scene.
When the song became that huge success, I know it's the most generic question I asked you, what was that first thought that came into your mind?
To be honest, it was a bit crazy that time because we made the song, we shot the song, me and Honey did, and the first week there was a lot of negativity on the first week when that song released. I was thinking, hang on, the video is banging, the song is banging, what's going on? But there was a lot of negativity, but then straight away after 1 week, boom, the song just blew. And then I was in India doing tours with Honey and I was doing shows everywhere else in the world. But that moment for me, when the song actually resonated in India, that's when I thought, yeah man, this feels good, especially like after 1 week of it releasing. Sorry, 9 days after releasing, I went to India to do a tour. And then off the back of that, people knew who I was, people knew the song words. I was thinking, yo, it's been out for a week. And already people are, well, 7-8 days and people are already singing the words. So that was a real nice moment for me because I put so much hard work into that song. It wasn't just a case of me going in the studio and recording it. It was all the pre-promotion of the song, the post-promotion as well, and also what we had planned for the next couple of months. And then the video concept, everything was like a team effort. It wasn't just something that we just thought, all right, we're going to put this song out, boom, it's going to be a smash. There was a real process behind it, and prior to that there was a process of my album, my previous album, JD, and I had so much love for that. So I was grinding and making the foundations from the beginning. It's just that point kind of accelerated and took me up to the next level. So it was a nice moment, man, and obviously from that it's just been up and up, man.
another nice moment, which is when Ki and Ka took the song and basically glorified an already, very successful song. That really puts you in the forefront for Bollywood music. Going from an urban space and getting that success is huge, but getting that place in Bollywood must have been another moment. When you were having that moment, Jazz, how much of your struggle and all of the journey that you went through were you appreciative about? Like, talk to us about what it really took for you to get there, and how did it really feel when you had that Bollywood moment?
It was amazing, man. I mean, before that, I had a song for a film called Sanamre, called Humne Pee Rakhi. That was amazing as well. But I think with Ki and Ka, especially Kareena Kapoor, I'm a fan of Kareena Kapoor. I'm a fan of Bollywood music. Like, I've been listening to Bollywood since I was like 9 or even earlier than that. So my dream was always to do songs for Bollywood, and that moment for me was emotional, man. I'm gonna be straight. I was like, yo, this is amazing, man. Like, my song is the leading song of this film, and Kareena Kapoor is part of it, and Arjun Kapoor is part of it as well, and it's for a credible a credible film director as well. So I thought, it's a real special moment, especially when I met Kareena. I think that was the icing on the cake for me, man, because it was a fan moment, and I don't really get starstruck, if I'm completely honest, because I've met so many people and so many artists and so many actors as well. But when I met Kareena, there was this aura that was attached to it, and I just started speaking. I couldn't speak for the first couple of seconds, and it was crazy. Like, I'm not like that. And he was like, and I said to her, I was like, you know what, thank you for this opportunity, man. Thank you for being part of this song. She was like, no, man, the first High Heels was a massive song. I loved that song, and obviously the new version is just like, it's a version made for me and my film. So that was a special moment for me. But I think being in Bollywood and having that smash in Bollywood was super special, and something that it's kind of cemented in my career, man, definitely.
Of yours from Birmingham to Bollywood, and you look at all of the cultural roots that you come from and everything that you owe to, you talk about being very close to your father, him being very inspirational in your journey. When you look at that space for yourself now, do you think there's more acceptance for the urban artists and for artists like you right now, a little bit more than it was before?
Definitely, man. There's more artists that are coming through from the States as well. There's more artists that are coming from the UK and Australia as well. And I think that proves the growth of urban desi music internationally. So for me, it's definitely, there's a growth, and I think it's become not easier, but it's become more accepting now than what it was maybe 15, 20 years ago. So yeah, that's what I feel, man. And
then talking more about the culture aspect, which I would love for you to reflect on. You associate very closely with the Punjabi culture. A lot of your songs have that. Why has that been such an important part of your journey? And is your relationship with your family or your culture the reason why you want to promote it more?
Of course, but I tell you something. I'll come back to that question in a second, but before I come to that, my whole thing at the beginning was Bollywood. I always wanted to do Bollywood music. Like, I used to just sing Hindi songs and just classical rags. That was my thing. Punjabi was something that I wanted to do, but I didn't want to delve too into it. And I would say it was my dad that kind of said, you know what, you're a Punjabi, you got to represent your mother tongue. You've got to represent who you are, as well as doing Hindi songs and Bollywood songs. So it was instilled in me from a really young age. And living in Punjab, that really kind of cemented a lot of things for me in terms of the Punjabi to me. I wanted my music, I wanted the language I speak to be like, you know what, represented and being born and brought up in the UK.
Yeah.
So and I feel like I'm that representation for the UK, and I feel like I'm flying that flag, and I'll continue flying that flag for British Punjabis, and I'll say NRIs internationally, man.
Right.
Yeah.
And just talking about that NRI space and talking about artists such as yourself, you know, when you look at that growing space of urban artists and all of, you know, the acceptance for them, where do you think they need the most help right now? If you were to, you know, talk about where you could get more and more support, what do you think would help it expand even more?
I think it's support from communities. I think what happens is when someone tries to become an artist or becomes tries to become a musician, there's a lot of negativity around that, and that people think that it's not a career path. I mean, even I got it when I was younger from my relatives, for example. They felt that music isn't a route to take to be a professional.
Right.
Like, there isn't a professional career in it, but it's evident that it is, because I've been in it for 10 years now. And I think the one thing I would say to everybody, like, everybody that's watching right now, support anybody's movement, whether they want to be an artist, whether they want to be whatever they want to be. You need that person needs that support at that time.
Do you think it was about time that that space existed for artists?
Of course, man.
Yeah,
of course. I mean, I think anywhere where there's Punjabi music, it makes me happy, and I think if people are loving the vibes here, why not, man? It's good to kind of spread the culture, man.
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਵੇਖ ਕੇ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਫੇਸਿਸ ਲਾਈਕ ਵਾਓ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਦੇ ਫੀਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਲੋ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਵੇਖ ਕੇ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਫੇਸਿਸ ਲਾਈਕ ਵਾਓ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਦੇ ਫੀਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਲੋ ਮੁੰਡਾ ਪਿੰਡ ਵਾਲਾ ਜਮਾ ਦਿਲ ਦਾ ਨਿਕਾਲਾ ਹਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਤੂੰ ਪੁੰਨ ਖੱਟਨੀ ਓਏ ਹੋਏ ਓਏ ਹੋਏ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਜਿੱਥੋਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਦਿਲ ਜੱਟਨੀ ਓਏ ਹੋਏ ਓਏ ਹੋਏ ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਜਿੱਥੋਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਦਿਲ ਜੱਟਨੀ बड़ी मैं कंध कर दी क्यों मैं ना शर्मानी है इन्नी क्यों है शाइन मेरे बारे मॉम डैड नु दसी क्यों ना वाई क्यों मैं ना शर्मानी है इन्नी क्यों है शाइन मेरे बारे मॉम डैड नु दसी क्यों ना वाई जानी नु तू प्यार कर बाकी मुंडे बाहर कर दिल ते ना मारी सटनी ओए हाय हाय कुड़ियां की हुंदी जिथे लगदा है दिल जटनी ओए हाय हाय कुड़ियां की हुंदी जिथे लगदा है दिल जटनी ओए हाय हाय
Do you think a lot of, you know, the audiences that are coming out to watch concerts such as yours or your fans here, do you think they connect with the sort of bilingual identity that gets presented by Punjabi artists such as yours?
Of course, man. I think that's what's really working in the US. I think people like the combination of Punjabi and English words.
Right.
So I think definitely a lot of people that are probably born here, they speak English. So having the balance of English and Punjabi or Hindi and English, I think it just connects with people here, man. Definitely.
You had just sort of mentioned, you know, giving an ode back to the UK or, you know, your love for UK. I kind of want to reflect on this amazing BBC project that you did for all our viewers. You know, I think it's really cool to see you, you know, in a huge an ensemble of some really renowned artists that everyone knows about. So, you know, talk to us about that little experience of yours. And I kind of also want to talk to you about your upcoming projects that you were mentioning about as well.
Oh, the BBC project was insane, man. It was crazy. Like, literally, I remember when I got the call, man, from someone from BBC, because they couldn't give too much information away about the collaboration, and I was getting the constant calls, and I was just getting ready to go off to London to do a recording with a producer called Steel Bangles. And they were like, "Look, I need to speak to you. It's really urgent. There's a collaboration that's happening. You need to be part of it." I was like, "Okay, who's involved in it?" She was like, "Stevie Wonder." I'm like, "What, Stevie Wonder?" She was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay." I've got plans tomorrow, but they'll be cancelled. I mean, I'll make sure I finish off what I'm doing now, and I'll get to the studio. So I got to a studio.
Right.
It was basically, this studio was called Psalm Studios. It's Bob Marley's old studio.
Oh wow.
And and the whole process was to record a song, to do a photo shoot and video shoot in like the space of 3 hours.
Wow.
So I got into the recording studio, and there was a guy there called Ken Nelson. He's the guy that produced an album for the first Coldplay album called Parachutes.
Wow.
He's like an amazing Grammy award-winning music producer. So he was like, do you know who's on the actual soundtrack? I said, I don't have a clue. All I've heard is that Stevie Wonder's part of it. So that's exciting me straight away.
That's more than enough already.
Yeah, and he just went on. Like, he played me the track, like Pharrell Williams, One Direction, Kylie Minogue, Elton John,
Right.
Chris Martin, Sam Smith. There's like so many, like 27 different international artists, and I was the face for the South Asian market, which is, like, for me was like, it was really overwhelming, man, because number one, I've never sang in English. That was the first time I ever sang in English ever. And number two, the whole of the BBC recommended me as to be the face of the South Asian market for this particular collaboration. And that for me was like, wow, man, I've been selected for this. I have to deliver. So we did the recording, and they had like 3 floors. Like the first floor was like the recording process, and they sent me up to the second floor, which was a photo shoot. And then whilst they mixed the song into my vocals into a song, they sent it to the video director, and we shot the video.
Wow.
And it was crazy. But the one part of that whole process was the actual visual that we did, the whole project we did, was that I got to perform with a 72-piece orchestra, man.
Wow.
And that was phenomenal. Like, it was just so inspiring to be on stage and representing South Asians, man, internationally on that stage with like a 72-piece orchestra and incredible jazz and musicians in general, man.
God only knows what I'd be without you.
Now that you've achieved that, Jazz, you know, you've had these moments where you've given South Asian, you know, artists and, you know, the community so much respect on an international platform. What are your hopes for your own future? And, you know, when you look at expanding that space, what are your personal hopes in regards to that as well?
In regards to what you've just said, like, achievements, I mean, I feel like I've done okay. I mean, there's a long way to go, like, in terms of, I just feel like I'm really getting started now. I've really found my creative flow, I should say now, and I'm really getting to know myself as an artist. But what do I think in terms of, I think what I want to do with my music, what I'm going to be putting out real soon, is just be real creative with it and push the boundaries and push myself. Because as an artist, you can get comfortable, you can get complacent, you can be in a position where you think, yeah, I'm making songs that are successful, people are loving them, but it's not just about that. Like, it's about you being challenged on a daily basis on what you do and growing as an artist, growing as a human being. So I want to grow myself as an artist and a human being, and that's I want that to reflect in my music. So that's the plan. I mean, I'm working on an EP right now. I mean, I put out an album just a couple of months ago called Pieces of Me. It was an 8-track album, and Aetvar obviously was loved, and Aetvar was loved off the back of that, and then I dropped a single with a guy called DJ Upside Down. That's doing pretty well as well. But now I'm working on an EP, a 4-track EP, and I'm just collaborating with like international, just mainstream producers, because I want to develop my sound, my singing style. I want to develop. I want to develop the sonics of what I'm making in terms of music. So that's what I'm working on. I think people internationally in the urban desi scene are going to really appreciate them vibes, because that's like the new me and the new wave, I would say.
Jazz, do you ever think about
करके गई सी एतवार दा दी जानी जवाब साडे प्यार दा दी जानी साडे प्यार दा ओ वादा करके गई सी एतवार दा दी जानी जवाब साडे प्यार दा असी उतने ते करदे उड़ीकनी दिन गिण गिण लग के आवीकनी नी ये मामला दिला दे एतवार दा नी ये मामला दिला दे एतवार दा दी जानी जवाब साडे प्यार दा ओ वादा करके गई सी एतवार दा दी जानी जवाब साडे प्यार दा ओ वादा करके गई सी एतवार दा दी जानी जवाब साडे प्यार दा.
Jaz, do you ever think about a 5-year plan? And if so, if I was to ask you just right now, just very personal, where is the 5-year plan taking you right now when you talk about your projects and the way you want to create content?
I've never actually thought of it, if I'm honest. The way I see it is I take each day and each moment as it comes, because music's it's a creative thing, and you can never predict what's going to happen in the next 5 years or 10 years.
Right.
Yeah, you want to be the biggest selling artist internationally, you want to win a Grammy, yeah, it's cool, everybody wants that, but the journey of being a musician, only when you put out music is when you realize where you're going to be going. So for me right now, all I want to be doing is making creative music and credible music that people appreciate, not only in the South Asian world, because everybody's making music that so many artists are making music that's respected or credible for the South Asian world. I want someone like Chris Brown or someone like Drake to hear my record and be like, yo, that is dope. I want something like that on my track. That's what I want. I want my record to have to be in the same level as a mainstream artist, and someone to say, you know what, a mainstream artist say, that is dope, and you know what, we need to work with this artist. That's what I want to be doing.
So dreaming big is very important.
Of course, man. I've been dreaming since I was 9 years old, and everything I've dreamt of has come to the forefront, and now I'm dreaming again, and I'm going to carry on dreaming. I'm going to carry on dreaming until I get to the heights of where I want to be.
So a very interesting question for you right now, right after you just said that. Are you content right now, though, with everything that you've achieved so far and how your music right now is going artistically?
Yes, I am. I am really content. I mean, there's so much more to do. Like I always said that, like I haven't got enough time in the day to do what I want to be doing. So I just want to put everything in. I think I'm happy with what I've been doing musically, but I think the new wave and the new me is really gonna come out in the next couple of years.
What would you like to say to Bollywood right now? If you were to say something to your fellow music producers, singers, artists, you know, people that work and produce songs in each and every way, what do you have to say to them right now?
To Bollywood music producers? I just want to say, why don't you guys go back to making credible music, man? Like, it's not credible anymore. Like, I'm a big fan of Bollywood. I'm a big fan of, like, you know, that 90s era, the 70s and 80s era. That was real music, like, real content. Like, musicians felt inspired. Like me, you could say I've been brought up around that kind of music, and that's formed me into the artist I am. But now I just feel like there's no inspiration left in Bollywood, which is why independent music internationally is killing it, like in the South Asian market. If you look at the industries, every Bollywood song has been picked up from an old 90s Bhangra song, or a song that's been made like by a Punjabi artist, independent artist, which is sad because there's so much talent in Bollywood. Like, there's so many talented music directors that I'm inspired by, but they've been forced into a corner to make music that they don't really want to be making, and it's basically crushing their creativity. So for me, I just want to say that, come on, man, guys, you guys are sick. Like, I'm inspired by like so many artists in India, and I just want to see that inspiration bounce back and be inspired, man. So
I appreciate your honesty in the art, because I think a lot of artists at times who talk about that you know, they would like to connect to Bollywood more, but at times they're not connecting. You know, this has been a great interview, and just, you know, while we're getting wrapped up with this, Jaz, if I was to just ask you, you know, a comment or a statement you'd like to give out to all your viewers of ITV Gold, to all our fans, you know, the greater South Asian diaspora, as I call them, of the US, what would you like to say to them?
Just one word is this, what I've written here: oneness. It's all about the oneness, man. If we believe in oneness, you know what, the world would be a better place.
And just talking about, you know, all your fans and all of the aspirants that look up to you, any last minute advice or tips you'd like to give to those people?
My fans, and I just want to say, just keep it real, man, and keep it you. Like I was saying before, earlier on, it's all about building the foundations and building yourself and believing in yourself. So just work on that and just believe in the vision, and you'll get there. That's exactly what I've done and exactly what's happening for me. So,
beautiful. Well, thank you so much for being with us on ITV Gold. Cool. I hope that you continue to inspire
everyone.
Thank you very much. Any last minute messages out before we leave?
Namaste. Peace out. See you guys soon.
Beautiful. And that was none other than Jaz Dhami, one of the most prominent and known urban Asian artists over here. Continue and stay with us on ITV Gold as we bring you so much more. I'm Aditi Lamba, signing off.
हो वादा करके गई सी एतवार दा दे जा नी जवाब साडे प्यार दा What's good, everybody? I'm Jaz Dhami, and you're watching ITV Go. Make sure you guys keep it locked.